everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, known here as the One-Handed Bandit, and I created this eye look today. I was sitting here and I was thinking I have so many eyeshadow palettes that I've probably used maybe 2 or 3 times, and some just maybe once or twice. So I decided to do quite a few videos and revisit some of these old palettes because, as we all know, as makeup addicts, we are always gravitating towards newer palettes. Whatever is the newest thing that comes out, everyone wants it. And sometimes I sit to myself and I'm like, do I have these colors in some of my other palettes? Can I create a look from my other palettes using similar colors with a look in the newer palettes that are coming out? So today I created this look with my Dose of Colors DesiXKaty friendcation palette, which has some gorgeous shades, and I think I may have used this palette twice. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was just with this blue shade. So I did use a few of the shades from this palette, and there is a transition shade in here, but I wanted to go a little brighter because this one that was in here was a little too deep for what I wanted to do today. So I dug out an oldie but goodie, and I dug out my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And as you can tell, I got quite a bit of use out of this palette. As you can see, one shade, Love Letter, that shade did hit pan, but as we all know, this palette is very powdery, so hitting pan is not a big thing. It's not like I use it that much. But Love Letter from this palette is one of my favorite shades. Venetian Red is my second favorite, and then it'll probably be Real Guard. And Real Guard is this orange right here in the corner, and that one looks like it'll hit pan very soon. So I did use Love Letter in my crease, and if you would like to see how I created this glowy look today using some of the palettes in my collection, then keep watching. So I'm starting out with my brows already done, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer, and I'm just adding that all over my lid just because I wanted to go in with a lighter base so that my shadows are more pigmented, and I love the way that that blends into my concealer. And for my eyeshadow palette, I will be using the Dose of Colors DesiXKaty friendcation palette, and I'm going to be using this first shade right there in the middle of the palette. It is a neutral shade, which is closer to my skin tone. And next I'll be going into the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to be using this shade called Love Letter, and I'm just going to add that to my transition. Next, I'm going to be cutting my crease with that same eye primer. And for my lid shade, I'm going to be using this shade called Dirty Money. It's sort of like a green shimmer shade, and I'm just going to add that all over my lid. And I'm just lining my eyes with my Wet n Wild's liquid liner just adding a wing liner. And to prime, I'm using my embrolise primer. It's a primer and a moisturizer all in one. And I'm using this color corrector from Sephora, and I'm just going to add that to where I have darkness, which is around my mouth and under my eyes. And then I'm just going to blend it out with my beauty sponge. And for foundation, I'll be using my Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 390. And for my concealer, I'm going to be using a Becca Cosmetics concealer, and this is in the shade Golden. And to set my under eye, I'm going to be using my Mercier translucent setting powder. And to set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Mercier translucent medium deep setting powder. And to bronze, I'm using my Prime Beauty bronzer in the shade Bronzeville. And I'm also using Bronzeville to contour my nose. And for blush, I'm going to be using this Colourpop blush, which is in the shade Construct. And then dipping back into the Dose of Colors palette, I'm going to be using this shade called A Moment. It's like, it kind of looks blue, but it does have purple reflex. I'm going to set my face with my Anastasia Dewy Set Setting Mist. And for highlight, I have this sample of Artist Couture Coco Bling that I received with one of my Sephora orders. So it looks icy white. I'm going to try it out and see. So I'm going to use very little product because it could be ashy on me. So it's not ashy, and as you can see, it makes my skin look as if it's dewy or glowy. So that is a very, very nice glowy highlighter. And I'm just going to add some mascara to my bottom lashes. And this is the Colourpop BFF mascara, and it is in the shade Brownie Points. It's a brown mascara. And I'm just going to coat my bottom lashes as much as possible. And I was going to use the lightest shade in the Dose of Colors palette, this shimmery champagne type color, this one right here. But I think I'm going to use that Artist Couture highlighter in my inner corner because it's so white. I think that would look really, really pretty. And for my lip, I'm going to keep it pretty nude, neutral. I'm going to use two lips from Fenty Beauty, the Two Stunna lip paints. The black one is in the shade Unveil. This chocolate brown is in the shade Unveil. And this nudie pink is in the shade Uncuffed. So I'm going to use Unveil as a liner. Then I'm going to use Uncuffed in the center of my lips. So that is it. That is the final look today. I hope that you have enjoyed. Also subscribe and be sure to click that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload videos. And I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in my next video.